I did one of these on the French artist, Jacques-Louis David, a man who combined very skillful technique with abject political cacophony, thereby losing my respect. Working at the same time was the Spanish artist, Francisco Goya. I thought I would give a look at his work as well. Goya was laboring under many of the same pressures as David: war and the necessity to please certain patrons. Nobility, royalty, and the church immediately come to mind, if one is to earn a living as an artist. Goya certainly painted his share of conventional portraits, designed to be most pleasing to the subject, but he added some unusual touches, and he produced a great amount of work that was so disturbing that it was condemned by the Holy Office, known then as the Spanish Inquisition. And then there was the work he never intended for anyone to see. There is a portrait of a 4-year-old child holding a magpie by a string. Several cats appear, crouching in a menacing manner, and Goya's calling card is clamped in the beak of the bird. The picture practically calls out for greater interpretation. There are several portraits of the Duchess of Alba, including the one in which she is pointing down to the ground, on which is written in sand, Solo Goya, only Goya. The Duchess, who may or may not have been the model, also had in her possession 2 portraits of the Maha, clothed and naked, with the exact same pose, reclining on a couch. The pictures were so suggestive that they earned the official wrath of the church. Cherubs and mythological figures might be nude, but not Mahas. And there is the family group portrait of King Charles IV. It is not flattering, and it is odd in many ways. The picture on the back wall is of Lot's family, a truly bizarre reference. It is the Queen, not Charles, who occupies the center, focus, and heart of the portrait. And off to the extreme left, in shadow, there is Goya, working on a canvas, presumably the very picture we see. Goya began by painting cartoons, scenes for a tapestry factory. His painting of Christ on the cross gained him entry into the Royal Academy, an important distinction. A few years later he was the official court painter with an excellent yearly wage. Then he fell ill, nearly died, recovered, but was completely deaf for the rest of his life. During his recuperation he began to do work of his own choosing, called the cabinet pictures, paintings of a boat wreck and a madhouse. For the rest of his career he would alternate between the conventional and the fantastic. He began making prints, a series he called the Caprices, some grotesque, some deliberately offensive, including one well-known one entitled The Sleep of Reason Produces Monsters. There are the cats again, with birds and bats as well. It's another disturbing allegorical piece. In 1808, France invaded Spain, and Napoleon installed his brother Joseph on the throne. In 1811, Goya swore allegiance to Joseph. In 1814, Spain regained the throne, and in order to demonstrate his true feelings and loyalty, Goya painted 2 works, the 2nd and 3rd of May, 1808. This last work is held by many to be his greatest, and it is certainly eye-catching and heart-wrenching, but I have a problem with its inspiration. More genuine, I believe, are the prints he made in 1810, work that would not be made public until 35 years after his death. They are known as the Disasters of War, and they bear the title, There Is No Remedy. They are so stark and gruesome, they remind me, unhappily, of The Painted Bird. In 1812 he painted The Colossus, depicting war as a giant from which all mankind can only flee. He created another series of prints on the folly of life and moved to a country house, distancing himself from society. On the plaster walls of that house he made 14 paintings known as the black paintings, not so much for the hue as the subject matter. 2 old people eating is especially shocking, as is Saturn devouring his child. The pictures were badly damaged when they were removed, retouched, and in some cases repainted and cut down. Goya became deathly ill again and was saved by a Dr. Arietta. There is a picture of the doctor ministering to the dying artist, with faces looming in the background, neighbors or dead souls, we cannot tell. This might be considered one of a series of self-portraits over his life, revealing a deeply introspective soul, I think. Goya recovered and moved to Bordeaux at the age of 79. He continued to paint, including a canvas entitled The Milkmaid of Bordeaux. It is a wonder to me that the creator of the black paintings had that much tenderness and gentility left in him. It's the range of Goya that is so astonishing, that leaves a lasting impression, from insipid to lustful, from formal to obscene, charming to bone-chilling.